All right, I think I have lots of slides to show and to talk about Ethereum. I want to present some aspects of Ethereum Foundation and Ethereum ecosystem from the perspective of where founders can look for help with coding, with funding, with learning about Ethereum and finding friends. So building on Ethereum, and the probably a starting point for many people is the Ethereum.org website. And as this is a starting point, I guess many people forget about it later. As I forgot about it for many years, and I come back and I think, oh, there's quite a lot of information there. So we'll continue improving it. But if you go there, if you think of the new joiners, then send them to Ethereum.org. It's actually fully translated to Spanish, Portuguese, I think, as well. So if you are here from the continent, then lots of newcomers can learn from there. And Devconnect itself, obviously, we focused this year much more on the startups or founders, on applications. That was feedback for the last few months, focused on founders. And that's why we have this World Fair of applications on Ethereum. And probably you spot and you tried many applications, games, DeFi protocols, and it's great to celebrate that on Ethereum together. What other ways for the founders to arrive at Ethereum ecosystem? So this is an example of the DevFolio organized hackathon block train with some of the developers on the train riding to another hackathon. So actually you jump on a train on a hackathon, and it happens on a train to another train. And I think that we'll have lots of opportunities to create connections between as distant places as India and Argentina in the future through common hackathons and founders joining together. ETH Global itself happening this week here, very close to here in Buenos Aires. So ETH Globals are the ways for practically every 1 or 2 months. It's 1,000 to 2,000 people meeting together to hack, and lots of memories of joining the ecosystem, but also lots of prizes for those who want to get some money to start building something on their own. Solutions like Edge City, pop-up cities, Zuzalus, Invisible Cities, some of them have been here, Edge City Patagonia, Invisible City in Buenos Aires, probably many more that I don't mention. And those are important for founders to find people that are not necessarily technical, but the thought leaders, those who think about greater problems of society, try to exchange ideas, maybe be a bit philosophical. And I think that for any founder journey, it's a bit of learning how to code, then just locking in, building, coding, then actually going for inspirations, sharing the doubts, hearing feedback from people who went through the whole journey. And I think those are the kind of places where you can learn a lot. ETH LATAM, massive congrats to ETH LATAM organizers for pushing the adoption in Brazil and bringing a lot of fantastic Brazilian teams together. Just last week, 2 weeks ago, I had a massive pleasure to go to ETH LATAM, and I think in the future it's great to spot all those Ethereum communities in Latin America that are organizing meetups. Sometimes these are very small groups, 10 to 20 people. My story from London from 2017 is the kind of story of 10, 20 people meeting together every few weeks and learning from each other. Ethereum comes to universities, so Ethereum on Tour is the group of events where we not only talk about bringing developers to the ecosystem and teaching developers, but also connecting with cryptography researchers, with policy researchers, governance researchers. I want to continue those events, and hopefully we'll have many of them in Argentina and in Latin America more broadly. Developer acceleration. So you have some events happening now here at Devconnect, and fantastically prepared by people like Austin Griffiths and Binji and developers acceleration team. Really encouraging you to follow those fantastic people. They have lots of very positive energy of teaching through fun activities, through gamification of the learning process. And here is an example, Biddle Giddle, organizing things like events, engineering to founders, speedrun Ethereum, tokenization, decentralized staking up, but also more complex topics. You can build your own stable coins, you can build prediction markets, you can build ZK voting. So I guess for any founder very often what I see is that founders comes to the ecosystem, picks up something that is almost an obvious thing that has been done 100 times, and instead of going to the tutorials and doing it and saying, okay, I know how to do it, and now I have other ideas, they may get stuck with that simple idea and start building startup around it without understanding that it has been done, that has been tried, or maybe it doesn't work. So it's very common for people that come to the ecosystem to not understand yet what's the real problem and what are two simple topics. Capture the Flag, another fun event that is happening, I believe, Thursday, which I'm not even sure if it's today or tomorrow. I think it's today, 2 p.m., so maybe it already happened. No, it's running now, I think, so go for Capture the Flag. The Beetle Capture the Flag, a lot of Solidity learning from the top people in the world who's been building on Solidity for 7, 8, 10 years, understand every single potential problem with Solidity, but also every single potential opportunity to optimize. App relations and research teams. So if you think about applications on Ethereum, there are so many different categories. Here you have some examples. DeFi, obviously, the king category of Ethereum, but also social applications, privacy applications. This is all from ethereum.org website, and you can go there to application side and see what are the examples of the apps that are very successful. And also, if you follow Jason Jaskin, then you will see that app relations conversations, tracking different apps on Ethereum, joining the events when you can talk to app founders, those who went successfully for the last few years and built billion-dollar businesses. Founder success. So we put a lot of effort now to have very, very focused activities on talking to founders directly. Here is an announcement from Abbas on the Founder Lab. I had a pleasure today spending time, 2 hours, with 2 teams, 45 minutes each, talking about their journey, learning about their businesses, asking how we can help. And this is a question that I've asked probably thousands of times this year. How can we help? And one thing that is probably very good advice for the founders is think about a question up front. Give me actionable items how I can help you. How many times I see founders coming to me, starting conversation, ask, how can I help you now? And I say, actually, I don't know how you can help me. So really thinking and exploring of what kind of actions someone with experience and connections network can execute for you may help a lot. And I know that actually it's not obvious. So maybe the first thing that you can start asking people is, if you ask people with more experience, is what questions I should ask the people with more experience in the future, and then you can make a lot of leaps with your businesses. Ethereum.org founders website will have also the links to connect you with various L2 ecosystems that provide grants for founders. And you can apply through the button, send the details, and founder success team will reach out to you and help you to build. Ecosystem support itself has also the public grants wish list. So actually, if you go there and press on the application, you'll see for now just 2 categories where we're asking for applications, but over the next few weeks, probably we will get all the team leads from Ethereum Foundation to mention what is the public good that we need. And this is the type of grants that we directly apply from Ethereum Foundation. What changed this year is we practically almost never, or probably never, assign any financial grants to commercial projects. We want everyone to be entrepreneurial, and we act as connectors with accelerators, with VCs. And it means that it's also invitation to accelerators, incubators, VCs to start working with Ethereum Foundation and get connected with the founders. We put a lot of effort for those connections to be vetted, so we can do a lot of mentoring and checking and testing of who to connect you with, so they can have a chance to succeed through funding and going through that route together with the VCs that will be able to support them on the journey. For public goods funding, even this, we are very happy to see in the Ethereum ecosystem the independent organizations that do public goods funding. So Octant, Gitcoin, many others, Butter, and probably Merit Systems. They can allow you as open source builders to announce what change you would like to bring to the world, of what local actions you would like to build in the world, or maybe do something that is very often omitted. Like the creators very often say it's hard to get funding for the creators that really bring a soul to the ecosystem. So those collaborations are always welcome, and we also invite the new builders of the public goods funding protocols, experimenters there, the DAO builders, to work together with Foundation. Ethereum Hub, so the physical space, it's something that many people were asking us for, and we created a team called Ethereum Everywhere. That team flies between the cities and tries to establish independent local hubs that will be very much self-sufficient. So again, we are very ruthless or soulless, and we say no with the money allocations. Usually we'll work with some allocators because we want the communities that will be across the industries connected with the local VCs, with the local successful founders, and we'll be able to survive the ups and downs and learn how to sponsor the activities. But we'll be very happy to bring the top speakers to amplify the message, to support you with the communications, to provide legitimacy, and bring a lot of ideas and innovation to those local spaces. Very often we start them in the international financial centers because this year was definitely the year of institutions, of banking, of finance, of stablecoins, of payments. But as well, we're looking at solutions like the labs with biotech, with AI. Here is an example of Frontier Tower people, and here's the set of examples of pictures from the Frontier Tower in SF, where you have robotic arms, robotics, biotech labs with space for experimentation, art, music, bringing people also for robot fights, underground robot fights, this kind of spaces that we would welcome the most. So if you have ideas for those spaces here in Latin America, we would love to work with you. So we want to avoid simple co-working spaces, spaces that are only with one type of activity. We want to mix Ethereum with finance, with art, with fashion, with science. This example of Hong Kong Hub. Hong Kong definitely is much more financial focused. Payments, cross-border payments between Hong Kong and mainland China. Also a lot of local VCs, tokenization platforms, family offices. So we're very happy that we're activating Hong Kong here. They're super excited about what is possible on Ethereum. This example of a robot fight, underground robot fight in SF. I think that actually in the West, in the South as well, we have some catch up to do with what happens in China, in Shenzhen, in the area. And I think we can do that through fun as well. So probably those physical spaces will allow us to start catching up with the ideas for robotics. Here is one example when we bring some funding through the Localist Fund, local meetups in LATAM. So if you organize this type of meetups, please search for Localist Fund. And here's an example of Ethereum London. This is what we started with. There'll be more and more of those spaces. We know there are hundreds of communities from the past that feel a bit abandoned and want to bring lots of ideas, so maybe bring a new energy, a new founders of the local communities that would like to collaborate with Ethereum ecosystem. And here, some examples of the L2s and their grant websites. So it's very important for us to deliver the message that L2s and Ethereum mainnet is one ecosystem that can deliver a lot of help at the beginning to start, to build. And when you start in one side of the ecosystem, you can easily transition between all of them and start feeling that you're building on one big platform and family of protocols. So Celo having the grants through Presentee, and Celo extremely successful with the identity solutions with Self, with payments in Africa, I think Latin America as well. Make sure you actually visit many of those L2s at the spaces in the center. They are there stuck together to show that they are very, very close with each other. Base Up ecosystem, bringing you opportunities for funding if you're building applications on the Base Up. Base Up connects the social media like Farcaster. It connects payment systems, chat, all of that in one application. And I think this is one of those solutions, everything apps that connect finance and media and verification and probably AI, that will be a massive potential for monetization of small apps that solve problems. Today I had a pleasure talking to the Credit.cash, which are actually from the world ecosystem. What they do under-collateralized lending. Amazing to see those solutions. You see people in countries like Kenya or Philippines borrowing $2, $5 loans and repaying them regularly. So they have access to very small money that makes the difference for them. Here is the Starknet ecosystem with the very well-designed and well-thought grants system, seed grants, growth grants. You can go through different stages in Starknet ecosystem. Starknet is pioneering a lot on the ZK side, now with the publications of Stu, super fast prover solution that are like alternative paths for the ZK future, and a lot of Bitcoin Fi. The clicker doesn't work. Okay. Arbitrum grants, again, examples of Arbitrum grants. Arbitrum is extremely successful on the DeFi side, so very short, low latencies, short block times, a lot of DeFi liquidity, and a great integration with the broader Ethereum ecosystem. So for many of you that build DeFi, very often Arbitrum will be the first place to go, and hopefully you'll find opportunities for grant in the Arbitrum ecosystem. Linea, super aligned with Ethereum and Exponent program for grants. So if you think about 20 or 100 L2s with different shapes and flavors in the Ethereum ecosystem, very often it's not directly Ethereum Foundation that will help you to build applications. Very often the starting point for the applications will be through the L2s. This is where you build the simpler and faster things. This is where you build a lot of the user-oriented, like the retail-oriented applications. And it's also when you think about all the developer reports, dashboards, many new developers that come to the Ethereum ecosystem come to that ecosystem through the L2s, and only then start also exploring and deploying some higher value settlement systems on Ethereum mainnet. We're scaling both, so there is space for everyone. And here's an example of Tyco-based rollup. Probably lots of opportunities to build Tyco, the RWA solutions, because it does borrow even more of the security and sequencing from the layer 1. WorldCoin, World Foundation, bringing a lot of micro grants, mini grants for people building mini apps in the World app. So you're combining identity with payments. With identity, you can introduce very strong identity resolution. You can introduce things related to long-term reputation. Reputation is a hard problem to solve without identity. World is probably the most hard way of solving identity for blockchains. Here's an example of Optimism. Optimism is really a broader ecosystem of multiple different L2s, and Optimism itself can provide the grants for infra, for applications, for many founders. Polygon, extremely successful with payments, with stable coins, with tokenization. You hear lots of announcements from Polygon recently on Revolut, on Flutterwave, delivering solutions for Africa, for Middle East, for India. Again, lots of grants there in the Polygon ecosystem. Lots of founders can start that journey from Polygon. Lots or almost all of the skills that you get from Polygon ecosystem are applicable to the majority of the EVM space in Ethereum. Let's talk a bit about spaces, more spaces where you can benefit from cool ideas coming. Massive energy in the AI and robotics space, particularly in the AI side, agentic payments, two standard, X402, ERC 8004. People who learn about them are super excited about building around the standards. ERC 8004, announcements from Google, from Coinbase about the agentic payments, Cloudflare and Coinbase talking about X402, agents reputation, the future, a lot of future of the centralization of AI can be solved through this. Let's talk about DeFi, one of the strength of the Ethereum ecosystem. Hybrid DeFi is coming. TradFi tries to connect with DeFi. we see the numbers. Ethereum is absolutely crushing it on the DeFi side. You see announcements from projects like Aave, EtherFi. They all start to look much, much more like very easy TradFi style experience, more for integrated with Coinbase. A lot of those hybrid solutions are coming to the market now. And what they say, $2 trillion to be in the stablecoin sector, $2 trillion to be in the tokenization markets beyond stablecoins, lots of opportunities and lots of numbers for Ethereum winning it. This is the beginning of this year, $119 billion in stablecoins on Ethereum, $180 billion nowadays, massive growth and increasing the market share on the stablecoins. High transfer volumes, and worth to learn how much of a change is coming to the world on the stablecoin side for the local coins. And we have some examples here, BRLV and BRL1 in Brazil, WARS in Argentina, and I'm up, time is up, I mean, sorry, so scaling happens, I think I shouldn't click anymore. There's much more. But what I started with was more important. So I think that, generally, thank you, connect with me. I'll be super happy to connect you with everyone in the Ethereum ecosystem who can help you. I really want to accelerate everything one by one by every single DM. Feel free to send messages directly. Thank you so much.